Start your week by installing your game plan.
Can Zeke deke again? Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys. With that, it's off to the home opener, and they'll do it big at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
On the return is Henderson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
Now the first running back drafted this year is Saquon Barkley. The numbers for him from a week ago: 5 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
And how about that momentum run right there? Personally, what I do is I get right back to the line of scrimmage. I come right back at them before they get settled. He's locked in a little bit now. I guarantee he wants the ball again.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Great time to focus on a healthy group of pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just about any threesome in the NFL. 2 terrific wide receivers and a tight end that's hard to cover.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Now a deep ball there on second. Down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Gun. Zebra.
Throwing is Manning on third down. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be brought out by a man who hails from Sulphur, Louisiana, played his college ball at Mississippi State, the quarterback Dak Prescott.
The numbers he put up as a rookie, outstanding. But were they really, truly sustainable? Remember, they were 13-3 his rookie season. They ended up going 9-7 in 2017. How about they went from 4 interceptions in 2016 as a rookie to 13 his second year? These are numbers that you didn't expect to stay the same. But I do expect Dak Prescott to continue to get better and better as a quarterback in the NFL.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 33 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run with Elliott. The tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second and goal. From the 1. He'll get it up the middle, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Orleans Darkwa, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, and the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down.
And this will be caught at the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. It's Barkley on the counter. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and get them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then.
I think there he had to come off of his primary receiver in a big way, just trying to get it to a secondary guy, unable to get that play completed.
Checked down, but didn't even have enough time to do that. Incomplete. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And Rosas puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, That means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Throwing, Prescott, and Beasley with it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
New York set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking, what Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games, just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
On third down, Manning. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Sometimes I think even Eli falls into the trap of thinking that Beckham can catch anything. Here it's a throw he'll wish he could have back, because even OBJ wasn't going to be able to get his hands on that one.
Following the interception, here's Prescott, and that is incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And this one is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep it up.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To the air again, Prescott. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Prescott now. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown, as his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now out come the Giants. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On first down, Manning over the middle to Beckham. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6.
I'm flying too.
So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Andy Dalton, 3 touchdown passes as his guys moved to 2-0 on the young season. From there, we head down south to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And no one went home happy after this one, as it ends in a rare tie. And finally on Monday night, a good one in the NFC. Seahawks, Bears from Soldier Field. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This one taken from the 7. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
A second down throw for Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Shotgun now for Manning. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Manning. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, that's the Kickstarter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise, because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Manning again here on 2nd and 10. And this one is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
To throw, it's Manning. And that'll be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Manning will try again on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, Manning. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Manning. Got to have this one. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. DeMarcus Lawrence coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. He's coming off an impressive Pro Bowl campaign in 2017.
You're talking about 14.5 sacks, tied for second in the NFL. And now when offensive linemen hear the name of DeMarcus Lawrence, they quake in their boots. How do we block this guy off the edge?
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd and long, it's Manning. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Alec Ogletree. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Marking down at the 49. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to kick.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Again to Elliott. This will go for 5 up to the 33. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now Prescott. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big run that time by Elliott. 45 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Oh, Prescott here to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. And his kick here is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet. Okay, being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. Back to throw. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. 3rd down here. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
He's back to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. Now Manning got to hurry him to the line here. And they'll get the spike off with 6 seconds to go.
Gun. Zebra. Hey, go 26. 27's the Sam. 27's the Sam.
One final try now for Manning. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. You have grades, browse available players to improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 15th NFL season. Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants face off with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. After 2 weeks on the road, they're finally ready for the home opener in Houston. Standing by on the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Hi, Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out in a good one as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now it's Miller. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
The Texans send the punter out. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now the rookie first-rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Saquon Barkley trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectation.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Back 22!
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He'll buy some time right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Faking the give. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And who's got it? The Giants.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit And in this case, lose the football.
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Madden. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's 3rd and short.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage. And
he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here we go on 4th down with Madden. Flushed out right. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Well, you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made, is the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
A first down carry for Barkley. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Manor. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
To throw is Madden. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. C.J. Wilson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 11. Here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Griffin. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Back 22! Back 22!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. First catch there for Thomas. It's a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Down! Blue 80!
Now a handoff to Miller. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Back to throw, Watson. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Over. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now we've got a giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
New. Barkley.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it fourth down.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. On second down, here's Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And out across midfield, down to the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first and 10, Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Watson on third down. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Watson now 5 for 5 on the drive. He's responded after the interception. It's first and 10. To throw is Watson. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Griffin. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Watson looks to throw again. That's complete, right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal. First down now, but that clock rolling. Again, it's Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Demaryius Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's first and 10. On first and 10, here's Manning. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks so much. Welcome in, everybody, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Whew! A full 10 games going on here in the early window, so let's have at it. We'll start our tour with a trip to FedEx Field, where we find Green Bay on the road to take on Washington. And in the second quarter, it's the Redskins who are out in front. The Redskins trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. On the return is Henderson, and he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
This is Coleman. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Zebra.
They do go for it. It's Manning. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Into the red zone now. Manning under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Whitney Merciless in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Shotgun now for Manning. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The Giants on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Working from the gun, Manning. And this is going to be incomplete. Coverage that time by Aaron Colvin.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 46. From the gun, it's Manning. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Zach Cunningham coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Dalvin Tomlinson able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. They go play action here on 1st down. Going for it all. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And now it's second down. Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting away open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have, it's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
This is fielded at the 27. Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Olivier Vernon in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully.
He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play on third down for the Texans. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Watson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they held them in check on the scoreboard. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
To the air yet again, Watson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And he comes back with one complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The Texans on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
What up?
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Thanks.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
I just was mad. And sub 2, I was hoping you can do the same back. I do really appreciate it.
With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Partner, it wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about, assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but a guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Manning. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. Escaping, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Whitney Merciless, able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
You give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down. Back to throw. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Griffin. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. He'll look to throw. Dumps it complete to Miller. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he's got Miller. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And that's a touchdown late in this affair.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they hatch.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. This one taken from the 7th. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Manning to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Manning. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away, as we just saw there.
Manning now to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
Hey, go 56, 27 to Sam, 27 to Sam.
One final try now for Manning. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be caught. It's caught. And they've won the football game. Sometimes it comes down to one final play. A dramatic, dramatic finish to this one.
And no player will ever admit to, hey, this is how I want to win a game. But behind closed doors at night as they're going to sleep, they do think about those dramatic endings. And how about that one? Go up and get it, Hail Mary, and sprint to the locker room with a victory that you didn't look like you were going to get.
That is the epitome of the highest high and the lowest low in the game of football. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Giants, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Houston,
tomorrow.
The early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.